Couture. That's another entity that I'm a part of, which is a fashion competition where we send out fabric to different designers' front porch. We give them a theme, and they have at least 3 weeks to produce whatever theme it is. So it's literally like fashion runway project meets your porch, and you get all this material, and you have to produce whatever it is that we say the theme is.
And you said, what's the name of that theme? What, Detroit?
Yes, it's called Detroit is Your Couture, and that's myself, Brianna Williams, and Barbie Weiserman, and it's a pleasure to be a business partner. I'm 1/3 of that as well. So.
Well, I commend you. You are a woman with many different hats, and you got a lot going on. You sound like me.
and I'm telling you, like, girl.
And so I'm glad that you are able to stay busy. You know, what piece of advice, as you juggle and as you wear these different hats, could you give someone who wants to come into the industry, or someone who is trying to find their way? And what would you say to them?
Okay. I'll let them know. First of all, let me just say I'm a full-time employee Monday through Friday. I work 7:30 to 4:30 p.m. Okay? Even working from home during the pandemic, so I'm very grateful for that. But I do want to say, whatever you do not believe majority of the things you see on social media. Somebody could tell you that they're an entrepreneur and they quit their job, but meanwhile, bro or sis is working a 9 to 5. Just because that works for them does not necessarily mean that has to be your plan right away. And last but not least, if you give 100% to a corporate job, you need to give twice as more to yourself. And then when it comes to your family and friends, you need to give triple that.
I totally. No, go ahead.
And by doing that, that right there, no matter what you do, as long as your hands is open to give, God is going to bless you to receive. It's hard for you to receive if your hands is always closed because you're take. So literally give everything in you, and it's going to pay off. Your name is going to be put in rooms before you walk in it. And it's just more so the preparation for the blessings that's going to be bestowed upon you. And it's just really messed up because we're in this generation as entrepreneurs where we don't have white pages that's a success or yellow pages that's a success, because too many people like instant gratification, right? Mm-hmm. So when you know this is your heartfelt passion, you have to work 10 times harder, more than anything, because you might feel like you're not getting the recognition, but somebody's seeing you. Mm-hmm. And all it takes is that one time, that one opportunity where you have gave 1,000% to a free opportunity, right? And now you have the opportunity and you feel like you're walking in the door and you feel like it's about to be free. I'm about to just do what I always do. I'm going to give myself all into this, and you don't even know how many people just watch you just do what you do on a regular basis. And next thing you know, people calling you, booking you, and willing to pay for exactly what your God-given gift is. And it's not meant to be shelved. So that's my full circle advice is to give every bit of you to whatever you put your hands on. Don't half-step, because you never know.
And you know, for those who just may be getting ready to tune in, or those who just now are listening, as the broadcast goes, once again, I'm on the line with DAUN GREEN from Detroit, Michigan. She's a woman who has many hats, y'all. So she is in the fashion world. She has a virtual fashion show that's going on currently, and it's pretty hot. It's pretty successful.
Thank you.
I want to also ask, as we go into 2021, and, you know, we try to adapt within this fashion industry, what do you see some of the challenges being for models right now? Like here in California, everybody is stoked. They're still going. It seems like they're working even harder, even more. So for Detroit, is that energy still there? What's happening out there with you guys?
Big Gretch ain't playing with us, okay? Our governor, Big Gretch, she don't care. She done shut us down. And we are in the house. The restaurants are shut down. And you just have to be very creative as a model. You know, what will be safe for social distancing here? How can I book a photo shoot and make sure that I'm not putting others at harm, right? So I made sure on set for us, we had the thermostat to take people's temperatures. We had them sign the CDC guidelines and write down their temperature on each page and let it be known everyone was safe. And I'm very grateful that after 60 days of shooting it, everyone has still been saved. Right?
Yes.
But it's just, you just have to, I think for Michigan, for us, what we have to figure out, we already are a small market when it comes to it, and trying to, and expanding into a bigger market. And it's the creativity and making sure that you do something outside of the box and taking that leap of faith or taking a chance on yourself. So we have seen virtual fashion shows where they have been in an empty room and it's just the models coming out down the runway, which is super dope, right?
Yeah.
We have seen it where they have did a collation of models doing their different outfits in their home, and where a production company took every model's, like, you know, video, and they made it into a virtual fashion show. Just, you had a model walking in their house, you had them walking, if they lived out in the farmland, they was walking down their yard with the cows on the side of them. It's just really, you have to just stay consistent and don't be so hard on yourself, because everybody's going through it together. And I know that's one thing that we fall short of, that we think it's just happening to us, but it's happening to everyone. So shop local as much as possible. Shop with the small stores, small businesses, because they are the ones who are really being affected by it.
Yeah. And basically the key right now is just to become innovative. And that's what you guys are doing. You're adapting to the time. Because none of us have been through this before. So we got to get creative. We got to just try to see how the mainstream media is setting things up, and then just follow along in the footsteps. And
exactly.
I commend your team once again out of Detroit, Michigan. I just want the listeners to know that. Give out your social media one more time so everybody can, know exactly where they can contact you and they can find you. And then if they want to be a part of the projects, they will know how to contact you.
Okay, cool. If you go to Instagram, which is the easiest thing, Dusk, DUSK, Till, TIL, Dawn, DAUN, LLC on Instagram, and you just hit the follow button, or you just stream up and down, you'll see everything of all my social media platforms, from What's Next DTD, the podcast, Heels and Pantyhose, WTF podcast. You'll see all of those posted on my page. And that's pretty much it. I mean, on Facebook, I have to make another Facebook page because I have reached that mark of 5,000 people, and I refuse to go through 5,000 people to see who I need to remove, and I'm not going to do that. So I'd rather just have a whole nother page, and I'll be able to just add people onto the page. But if somebody sends me something weird, I will remove you.
Yeah. As far as, my question would be, now with becoming innovative and with the models or even the fashion designers, is it now as hard? Do you think it's a little bit easier to get into this industry with what's happening?
Yeah, because when you think about it, okay, for instance, I wrote to Diddy and asked him to watch the virtual fashion show. But however, they have now different A-list celebrities have in Instagram, you can text them, and they send you a text back, and they're like, yeah, it's really me. Even though it's generic, for 45 seconds, you're ecstatic, right?
Right.
But they also are at home just like you. So all they have is time to be like, sporadically I might just click on, Tiffany Tondalea's page, and now I see that she's dope. This girl can sing. Or Jack and Jill can dance. However the case, and then the next thing you know, you're being reposted. And now you have over 1 million people watching you to see what you're going to post next. And once you get that following or that those views, just post old content. Even though it's old to you, it's new to them. And people are going to watch it. I had one of my fellow creative friends here. She does TikTok. She loves it. She does the reenacting of different scenes. And Boris Kojo and his wife Nicole has wrote her underneath her post on Facebook and Instagram and have told her, like, this is, like, you're beautiful, you're brilliant, we love you reenacting our scenes, right? She has had Taraji P respond to her under Instagram. I was like, girl, you good. You played Yvette better than me. So I'm saying that because you never know.
And that is so true. And, I tell this to people all the time. In the social media, you never know who's watching.
You never know.
And it's just opportunity can hit and strike at any point in time. Even as you were saying briefly earlier, when you post different things and you just don't know who's watching, and what can happen is they will contact you when they're ready. So it may not be right then and there where they're looking to book you, but in the future they will see what you've done, and then they will watch and then contact you when they're ready. So 3 months, 6 months later on down the line, when you least expect it, boom, you're getting contacted by someone that you never even thought of would reach out to you. But it's all about the consistency, staying in the loop, staying current.
Come on now, preacher.
And just keeping your content out there.
Come on now.
So you are exactly right when you say that. And you give some really good advice. I thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, if somebody wanted to be on your podcast, how can they be a guest?
Just send me an email or slide in my DMs. We always looking for, because we're going to have you on. So we always looking for different guests to be on our podcast. It's pre-recorded. And then we release the podcast on Wednesdays for both. Podcast is released on all major platforms on Wednesdays. And it's just a really good time. I really wish you could come, especially for WTF podcast. When I say the fellas and I, we be having too much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one guy, and he always tries a new tequila. It's never the consistent tequila with us in there, and I hate tequila. So I always bring champagne as a diffuser for when they get too drunk to bring them back down. However, because Patron Añejo was sold out across the state of Michigan, we couldn't get it. So this is what piqued his interest of buying different tequila, and you could tell if we have the same tequila on air or if it's something different, because the interaction, the conversation just is hilarious. I can't, it was just like, what tequila do y'all got today? And we,
It definitely sounds like a interesting podcast. And you know what? You're going to get your wish. I'm going to fly into Detroit.
Come on.
And it'll be the end of January. So I'm going to reach out to you. And, I've always wanted to work with you. I've reached out, and I see you as a model. But I knew I see you doing a lot of things. So I didn't know what all different hats you wore. But, I look forward to meeting you in the near future. I see you in 2021. I'm going to, either we could keep on with the conversation, or we could take a commercial break. I'm going to have to take a break. But once again, before we do that, I just want to let people know that I'm on the line with DAUN GREEN from Detroit, Michigan. And she's a stylist. She's a model. She's doing so many great things. And I just want to let everybody know that we'll be right back with the Let's Talk About It show with Ms. B, streaming live from Southern California. WGHP 102.4 FM. Give me 1 second and we'll be back. We're going to take a commercial break.